Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to realestateinvestormba.com. At Real Estate Investor MBA, we strive to provide valuable information from various experts within the business and real estate community, covering real-time market and economic information as well as curriculum-level material within various real estate investing niches. We aim to be relevant, straightforward, and forthcoming with actionable information for our community. And here's your hosts, Tejas Gosai and Jeremy Moyer. Welcome to Lehigh Valley Private Equity Fund. Lehigh Valley Private Equity Fund is a Regulation D evergreen private fund designed to provide a 7% preferred return and an overall annualized target return of 12% through diversification in lending and acquisitions in the real estate industry. With over 100 years of combined real estate, investment, and management experience, our management team is actively sourcing opportunities and improving real estate in the Lehigh Valley and surrounding regions. The Lehigh Valley is booming. The private sector GDP is larger than 112 countries, standing at over $41.2 billion annually. Lehigh Valley Private Equity Fund uses three methods to create returns for our investors: qualified lending, buy and holds, and rehab resell projects. Our philosophy is simple: quality over quantity. Our primary goal is to protect our investors, and our strategy is to produce consistent high-yield returns. Thank you so much for visiting us. Contact us easily by visiting www.lvpefund.com or call us anytime 24/7 at 484-362-1313. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day.
Hello, welcome back to Real Estate Investor MBA for another great interview that we have lined up for you today. My name is Jeremy Moyer and I'm one of your hosts. Please check out our website, realestateinvestormba.com, where we have all the past interviews in video, audio, and written transcription formats. We are also available on several podcast platforms such as iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn. Please subscribe and download all the past episodes to listen to them. A lot of great content has been shared to date by our prior guests. If you think we're providing value, please give us a 5-star review and leave us some feedback. In doing so, more people will be able to find us and listen to the insight from our interviewed guests. I'm excited to announce our guest today, Alison Pickel. So Alison is the Senior Vice President of Member Relations for the Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce. In this role, she has the privilege of helping entrepreneurs, small, medium, and large businesses, nonprofits, charities, and community organizations. Some of her responsibilities include planning, networking community events, brainstorming business growth ideas with members, making business connections and forging new partnerships, and mapping out strategic member branding and marketing campaigns. Alison, thanks so much for your time this afternoon and joining us for the interview.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be on today's podcast. Thanks, Jeremy.
Absolutely. Now, can you tell our listeners just a little bit more about yourself and how you end up getting started working with the Chamber?
Sure, absolutely. So I am from the Lehigh Valley originally, and I went to school in Philadelphia. I went to Temple University. I graduated in 2008. I probably would have stayed in the city for a little bit longer, but needed a job. So I moved back home and waitressed and found some jobs here and there to pick up. And then I ended up landing with the Chamber in 2008 in November. So I'm actually celebrating 12 years this month, which is very exciting. But I started as an executive assistant there, supporting our Easton and Phillipsburg initiatives. And then I just worked my way up through the organization, and they've been so incredible to me. Our president and CEO, Tony Ainelli, has offered every opportunity to grow. And that's where I started as an assistant supporting our Easton Phillipsburg communities and also our chief operating officer at the time.
Great. Thank you for that. So outside the chamber itself, does the chamber work with other organizations in the area, like to spearhead different projects or just to collaborate in general?
We do. So one of our taglines is power of partnerships, and we are all about partnerships with outside organizations. And we also, I probably say the word collaborate at least 36 times a day, because it's really who we are at the core of our organization. Our mission is to improve and enhance the quality of life here in the Lehigh Valley. And it is a really straightforward mission, and it allows our communities, our chambers and councils, and our staff to just do a lot of good things and cool community events and those partnerships and those collaboration opportunities. That's really who we are at our core.
That's wonderful. So I don't know if you follow the real estate market here locally. Right now, investors are experiencing a very competitive environment due simply probably to supply and demand. Interest rates are at a crazy low time right now. Any type of competitive advantage that investors can leverage can make a really big difference. So I'm not sure if investors here locally or, listening in other markets, and they can reach out to their chambers, are aware of the valuable resources the chamber has to offer for the business community. Can you just kind of touch base upon and explain some what the chamber does for local
Sure.
business and entrepreneurs within the market?
Sure. So actually start there, if that's okay. We are a business membership organization. We're the 6th largest in the country, which is pretty incredible. There's 33 councils and chambers that are part of the Greater Lehigh Valley Chamber. So what's incredible is that our members, they could be your small mom and pop retailers and restaurants in our downtowns and urban cores, to our larger corporations and companies that are with us, Olympus, Lehigh Valley Health Network, PPL. Those are all members, and they're active with the chamber. And we have every sector of business that's engaged with our organization. So our members receive the benefit of being part of all of those councils and chambers. And that includes our geographic groups. So we have our city councils and chambers like Allentown, Easton, Bethlehem, Phillipsburg. We have our smaller Nazareth, Hellertown, Lower Salkin. And we are very proud of our diversity councils that we have at the chamber as well. So we have African American, Hispanic, Women's Business Council, veterans. And the reason I always make a point to mention those various chambers and councils is because, whether real estate developers or anyone within that industry or market has full access to the benefits that the chamber provides, the networking opportunities. The Lehigh Valley is great. I mentioned I went to school in Philadelphia, but the reason I came back here because it is such a tight-knit community, and the access to the resources are there for those in the real estate market, those that are looking to have a competitive edge, really no matter what industry they're in. And the chamber and membership offers those opportunities. We do in April have a very large commercial real estate outlook event. This year, again, we had to move that to a virtual setting, but we typically have between 500 and 600 developers, anyone, real estate professionals, anyone within that industry participating to see what the trends are, what we're seeing as a community, and where people should be investing as a business.
That's great. Did you say the 6th largest in the country?
We are, yes. We're the 6th largest, yep. All through the partnerships and, again, that collaboration over 22, 23 years has got us to where we're at today. And there's no stopping us now. You are always open to new opportunities and new partnerships, just to, again, support our community, support our businesses, and support those that live in all of our Lehigh Valley communities. And they're all fantastic in their own right. They have their own their own flavor, their own uniqueness. But I think that's what makes our valley so incredible to play, to work, and to live.
Absolutely. Now, you touched based upon resources that are available. Or can you just go into a little more specifics on what those resources might be?
Sure. So as the chamber, we do offer networking opportunities. We have events, community events and festivals. We were able to mobilize very quickly as a chamber in March when this really all hit. And we moved everything online. All of our staff were working really around the clock and just supporting our members, particularly when all the rules and regulations, depending on the industry, was shifting so quickly. So when I mentioned resources, I think one of the most I would say, challenging times for businesses, but as an organization, we really pulled together our resources, contacted legislators. We were just able to get through a lot of the red tape because we have those relationships. So a phone call into any one of your chamber employees, we're able to find answers for our members, for anyone, very quickly. And then one of the resources we did pull together and still are offering our members is we have some of our partner strategic law firms out. We're offering free consultations. Same thing with accounting firms, because many of us are small businesses, and small business is the lifeblood of our organization. They didn't have access to those legal resources, and they had dozens of questions. So we were able to directly connect them with some attorneys to help answer and provide some clarity on everything that was shifting and changing so quickly in all of our worlds, and still is.
Absolutely. It's we're living in a very different time right now, that's for sure. And
it is.
Businesses can be complicated to begin with sometimes, right? And just adding this layer of complexity really changes a lot. So if a business is looking at, expanding to new locations, or they just have general questions about marketing or whatever, is the chamber a resource for that as well? Or
yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I always say, when in doubt, contact the chamber. Because if we don't have the answer, we will more than likely have that connection or that relationship to someone that will have the answer for you. It's funny. I get phone calls and texts and emails. This probably isn't a question you can answer, but I always encourage anyone who's either a member interested in engaging with the chamber, just pick up the phone and call us. We all have cell phones. And we're happy to help in any way possible. Even if one of us doesn't have that answer, we more than likely know the person who does.
No, that's awesome. That's I didn't even know that resource was available for businesses, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
You mentioned a few smaller subchapters. So if one's a member of the chamber, are they also members of the subchapters that they can leverage and take advantage of?
They are. So that's what's really cool. If a business invests in the chamber, they're a member across the board. So our recommendation as part of the member relations team is to, align yourself with where you're located geographically, and then also finding one of our diversity councils or chambers to align yourself with. So I interface with all of those councils and chambers and the leaders that lead them internally. And they all have their own boards of directors and committees that are active. We have hundreds, if probably not close to 1,000 volunteers that are active with us. And they're just all incredible professionals and leaders and individuals in their businesses and their industry. But yes, they are considered a member across the board. And at any time they can engage with any of those councils and chambers. They can attend events, maybe sit on a committee, because that really widens your network as a business professional, and then serve on a board. Again, it's just, they're here. Those leaders, those volunteers are there to help each other and lift other businesses up. And we actually have a council called the Ambassadors Council that works very closely with our member relations team. So they help us with onboarding new members. And it's great because it's that member-to-member conversation, working with them throughout their membership, again, leveraging those opportunities, cultivating new relationships. And at any given time, you have at least 12 people that are a phone call away that are happy to help you, to guide you, and just to help you navigate this, really wild world of business right now.
That's tremendous. No, that's an awesome service that you guys provide. So this is a real estate podcast, so I'm going to ask some real estate related slanted questions.
Sure.
So if we have just regular landlords out there that's just looking, do I buy rentals in Allentown or Bethlehem or Easton or, the surrounding municipalities? Or maybe there's a developer out there looking, do I develop self-storage spots, or do I develop, do I want to expand the commercial buildings or even apartment buildings? Like, are there good resources within the chamber that they can reach out to maybe discuss the job market in a municipality? Is there more jobs potentially coming to this area that it's worth taking an investment risk of building more residential units, for example?
Absolutely. So I think it's dependent on the request. We have really good friends and partners with Workforce Board Lehigh Valley, who again have those relationships with the job seekers and the employers here. We work very closely with many number of their staff there. Of course, Lehigh Valley Economic Development Corporation, Discover Lehigh Valley. So we all work closely. And again, I would look at the request and the nature of the request and then pull in the necessary folks to help answer those requests. I will say too, what we've done as a chamber, we've done walking tours of downtowns. We've done real estate inside look. So developers that are coming in that are developing medium-sized, large-scale projects, mixed use. We've done inside looks where we've actually had kind of this open door tours where it's safe. We've had the developer speak and just talk about the project. And what's nice is that the chamber there serves as a catalyst and kind of bringing everyone together to see the big picture of what that project's going to be. We've done that, oh my goodness, at least 24 times within the last 2 years. And it's a great networking event to meet others in the industry, but also too, rather than reading about maybe a development project in the paper, it's that one-on-one interaction that our business professionals can have with the developers and those that are engaged in the project. And I think it just really puts that project on a pedestal, and offers the additional opportunities for others to work together if they're looking for renters, if they're looking for commercial, if they have a commercial space available and they're looking maybe for a business wants to open a second location, or there's so many various success stories when it comes to doing those kinds of, and we call them inside look events. Just again, that one-on-one personal opportunity to meet those that are engaged with the project.
That's tremendous. So I wasn't aware of that. Is the inside look, is that all posted on the website?
It is. We have a chamber calendar that's on lehighvalleychamber.org /event calendar. And then we also communicate to our members through social media. I always recommend just following us on social media. We also have weekly emails where we highlight all of those upcoming events. So there's at least 4 different communication vehicles in which we use to get the word out on these kinds of events. Because we're all in a virtual setting right now, I foresee us being virtual probably until spring, but we're proud to continue to provide that content, and we will at any time we can, although it will be virtual, but as soon as we can be back in person and doing those kinds of events, and we're going to be, I promise you that. Awesome. We're all missing it. We're missing it.
Yeah,
there's nothing like that energy being in the room with someone. It's
absolutely. And I was talking with someone about going to networking events the other week, and he used to go to them all the time, and I think he's going through withdrawal.
Yeah, I think we all are. I mean, that's how we do business. And I know since I've been here the last 12 years, that's how I did business and met other members of the business community, and we'll be back. We'll be back better than ever. It's just a matter of when.
Exactly. So outside the inside look events and the annual, you mentioned there was an annual real estate, was it conference? Is that what it was?
Commercial real estate outlook event.
Okay. Outside of those two, are there any other like subgroup committees, or those are mainly the main real estate related, I guess you can say, committee / events that the chamber has?
I would say that those are the most focused. You will see, as you look at those board members and leadership positions across the chamber, you'll see representation from real estate. But those are really the priority areas. We do have a very active public policy board with subcommittees, manufacturing, healthcare, tax and regulatory. But I would say those events that we host, this major spring event, and then the events that we host in all of our respective communities are where we're most active and engaged, at least on the real estate front.
Okay, that makes sense. So what are the best ways for investors to reach out if they're interested in just, one, learning more information, or two, they're like, you know what, this sounds amazing, I want to get involved. What's the best way for them to do that?
You can contact me, of course. Alison Pickel. None of our staff members hide easily. We shouldn't. But our contact information is on the chamber's website. I'm always happy to help, happy to connect. That's what really, we call ourselves the connectors. That's what we do day in and day out. But certainly I'm a resource, as is anyone on the staff with the chamber.
Okay, so just go to the website and then peruse to find a way to contact. Okay. And you
Yep,
said social media is a big way too, right? To follow.
What's that?
Social media to follow what's going on.
Social media, absolutely. Social media, as well as our whole chamber staff, is right on the website there. So you can contact our cell phones listed, our emails. That's the best way to get in touch with any of us. And like I said, any question that one may have, just, send it to us, because we joke that we should write a book of all of the questions we receive. There's some doozies out there, but it's funny how things come into picture for us, how these event concepts come to be, how these new partnerships. I mean, we really we keep our eyes wide open when it comes to opportunities to work with our members.
That's tremendous. All right, so I have probably the most important question for our safer. Okay, it's the toughest. All right, so out of all the restaurants in the Lehigh Valley, which one's your favorite?
Oh gosh, I would be in so much trouble if I answered that question. I don't think I could do it. It really depends on the mood that I'm in, but I will say we probably eat out since March. We were doing takeout, supporting our restaurants, still are to today. I'm 5 minutes from downtown Easton, so I do have to kind of give a big shout out to our downtown Easton restaurants, because I think I was at the Bayou on Sunday. I was at Sete Luna on Friday. I was at Oak on Wednesday. So
you have a lot to choose from there. Absolutely.
Showing the love. It's important. Our restaurants need us right now. So
absolutely. No, I'll take that answer as an answer.
Okay, good. I could be in a lot of trouble.
That's awesome.
Okay. Co-host.
Absolutely. Well, Alison, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. It was fun. It was exciting. Maybe next time, I know it's a podcast, but maybe next time we can do something in person.
Oh, that'd be tremendous. Absolutely. So to our listeners, if you're seeing us providing value, just please leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes or other platforms that you use. Also tell 5 other people about our show to help grow our audience. Everyone, this is Alison Pickel with the Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce. I'm Jeremy Moyer with Real Estate Investor MBA. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.